face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Me got baby face, me got big chair. Trump bad, Trump good, me no care. Me write big book, kill billies and stuff. Now me important, we're tired tough. Me go Yale school, me learn big word. Now me forget everything me heard. Silicon people give me job, me take. Now me like Trump, me make no mistake. Yo, it's JD Advance. Fight walk folk, me say never die. Me protect kids, me born liberal. Him, them, there. America simple, only two gender. Me face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Too many gender for my agenda. Went on a bender, execo the sender. Might take Panama just like na. Might take Gaza, pop then a plaza. With this my majesty.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Thursday. And just when you think things can't get crazier on the internet, it's another day on the internet and things have gotten even crazier. My goodness, the amount of insanity that we have to cover today, and it's all just happening like out of nowhere. It's unbelievable. We've got the Canadians have come up with this new term for the alphabet community, and the memes have already started flowing. We have Hunter Biden challenging the Trump kids to a cage match. Yeah. We got a surprise appearance from Melania Trump addressing all of the lies about her and Epstein. And then we've got now people are saying that Melania. All right. So Melania Trump had a surprise press conference today to address the Epstein stuff that many publications have lied about her with Epstein. So now people are running with the narrative that either this is a distraction from Iran, but do you remember when Iran was a distraction from Epstein? But then they're also floating the theory that Melania has divorced Donald, and she called this press conference so that she can help burn Trump's presidency to the ground. I'm just telling you what people are saying. Okay. It's the fucking, we have entered the craziest timeline I have ever fucking seen. First things first, we got Marmillin for Tense's pre-stream chat grift tax. Let's freaking go. Packing protons for Tense's, excuse me, sir. I hope I'm not being too forward, but have you ever discussed your feelings on Donald Trump? What do you think of him in general? Please excuse me if this is too personal of a question. Okay, so packing protons, I do appreciate that, but I'm pretty shy when it comes to politics. I feel that politics is too divisive of a topic, and I like to talk about more, just relatively non-controversial things on the internet. So while I do appreciate your question, I try to not talk about politics. It's just not something I'm comfortable with. I tend to just want to talk about less controversial things. So I really do appreciate your question, and I hope you have a blessed day. However, if you were willing to send a proper 199, I might be willing to talk politics. Daniel Moore Business 199 says the military have been deployed against the Irish people today. The media is downplaying what's going on here. there are talks of a revolt circulating. Thank you for the information, brother. I got what? I don't even know if I can highlight your comment. I got front butt for $1. I don't even want to see that. Miniature Front Thing says, for duck's sake, suffragere. And then Little Jim Taylor says, Duckcast 199. Let's fucking go. Ducks and tacos in the chat. Let's fucking go. Thank you. Toke Fan says, sad to see Benny has IDS. I haven't looked too far into it. I know he got a lot of backlash for that on Twitter and YouTube, so I haven't seen a whole lot more about that one. But Heath Nation says, hey, Jeremy, hail the 199. Any thoughts on Quarter Pounder trying to take down the Keno Casino channels after getting exposed for his bull? Yeah, like I said, I'm following all of it because I love watching Keno Casino because they are some of the most entertaining people on the internet. Hail Keno Casino. Ultimately, I don't know what the hell's going on with the quartering, man. He just can't get out of his own way. He's been on the internet far too long to end up in this situation like this. But it's shocking that he just keeps making it worse. And as somebody that, knows Jeremy or knew Jeremy, because I don't speak to Jeremy anymore. But he definitely is not stupid when it comes to how the internet operates, but he is way wrapped up in a cycle right now, and he just cannot get out of his own way. And it is kind of hilarious to watch. And especially, I've given him advice, maybe through very aggressive and sarcastic means, but I did. He's not willing to listen. Not my problem. So, but trying to deplatform or even implying the deplatforming of another creator is always going to be frowned upon online. And it's something that is very difficult to come back from. Deplatforming, especially in our sphere, is not something that anyone looks upon in a positive light, rightfully so. It's just not something you should ever in any way, shape, or form promote or condone in any way, shape, or form. Look at me, like at my entire chat every time right now. And I know that a lot of this is, bot systems and all of that, but I don't care. Like, my comment section is wide open. After every stream, I'm getting fucking crushed in my comment section. But guess what? Welcome to the fucking internet. I give strong opinions, and people are going to give me strong opinions back. This is how it goes. I'm not in the business of silencing people because they give strong opinions back to me. And he's shutting down his comment section. He's silencing people. He's limiting replies on Twitter. It's a clear sign of someone that knows that they can't stand by what they're saying. I can stand by what I'm saying. I don't care if I get crushed for it. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on it. Clutch City Fan says, Melania is the goated first lady. Dio Brando says, I hear they're the most ones. Let's see. I hear they're the most ones that are part of the alt-right death squad. Who is that? Who are we talking about? Yeah, 100%, Jessica. 100%. Runs with Phantom says, if I used a 3D printer to make a mold of JD Advance and used it for sculpted looking bust of him, I would totally want to buy one. What material would you like? Metal, marble, or painted pewter? I don't know a lot about 3D printing, so I would leave that up to you, what you think was best if you were to do something like that. So, but I don't know what material would be the best. I'm not familiar with that at all. Daniel Morris says, quartering is a bull in a china shop. He can't stop smashing shit, so instead of turning around and leaving the chaos, he keeps running down the aisle. Yeah, pretty much. For me, like, I know that Twitter is a shit show right now, and I tend to just kind of stay away from it. I follow, like, I have my news, but in terms of interacting and tweeting a whole lot, it's an endless cycle of shit. So there's really no point. Zinny Biscuit says, have to ask, Would a taco would a taco with duck meat be good? I'd try it. I'd try it for sure. Chat, what do you think? Taco with duck meat. What do you think about that? Nandy for 50 says they better be sending John Wick to protect Vance, Witkoff, and Kushner this weekend. Yes, sir. It's going to get crazy. It's going to get crazy. Mel, let's go ahead and talk about some of the stuff that we have seen today. All right, listen. Don't shoot the messenger, okay? But, dude, what are we doing? Like, this is absolutely insane right here, okay? If I can get this video to play. Why is the video not wanting to play? Here we go right here. Yeah, the video just straight up will not play. I don't know if it's a Twitter thing or what. So here we go. All right. New super strong password just dropped.
Deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+. This is a...
Okay, wait. Hold on. Wait, what? One more time?
Deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+. This is a...
Oh, the memes have been glorious.
Many people online have been mocking the MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+ acronym.
What?
Many people online have been mocking the MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+ acronym, making out that it's some kind of joke. MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+ was simply an upgrade from LGBTQIA+ in order to be more inclusive to missing people in Indigenous communities. Comparing MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+ to a strong password or the next sequel in the Call of Duty franchise is not only grossly offensive, but deeply disrespectful to those communities who are simply asking for us to adjust our language and broaden the LGBTQIA+ acronym in order to include more people. Upgrading acronyms is actually pretty normal. So when you deliberately don't say MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+, when you could say MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+, we know that you're being deliberately exclusionary and simply trying to hurt people's feelings. Unfortunately, some people within the MMIW G2S LGBTQI community are they themselves refusing to use the MMIW G2S LGBTQIA acronym when they could easily do so simply by using a few more letters. So if you are a member of the MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+ community, you can show respect to other members of the MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+ community by simply using MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+ whenever you're talking to them.
Now, I show you all of that to lead us into what every great meme should lead into. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. JD Advanced. New meme just dropped. Here we go.
JD, if you spell this word correctly, you will be crowned this year's Scripps National Spelling Bee Champion. The word is Meathwig2 Slug Buck-Q E+.
Can you give me the country of origin, please?
Yes, of course. The country of origin is none other than Canada.
Can you give me the definition, please?
A single word used to describe every minority group ever conceived, including several that are still pending approval.
Mish Wig 2 Slug Bupku Ia E+. Can you use it in a sentence?
You are not a member of the Meathwig2 Slug Buck-Q-Q-Ia plus community, therefore we will not be hiring you for this position.
Meathwig2 Slug Buck-Q Ia+. M M I W G 2 S L G B T Q Q I A plus.
That is correct. You are this year's National Spelling Bee Champion. Congratulations.
Oh, man. So, yeah, welcome to the internet. I'll be your guide. That is essentially where we are today because, man, oh man. Okay, so it gets better, everyone. It gets better because now that we have the memes out of the way, babe, wake up. New Trump tweet just dropped. Trump calls Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and Megyn Kelly low IQ, stupid people. Nobody cares about them. They're nut jobs, troublemakers. I know why Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones have all been fighting me for years, especially by the fact that they think it's wonderful for Iran, the number one state sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon, because they have one thing in common: low IQs. They're stupid people. They know it. Their families know it, and everyone else knows it too. Look at their past. Look at their record. They don't have what it takes, and they never did. They've been thrown off television, lost their shows, and aren't even invited on TV because nobody cares about them. They're nut jobs, troublemakers, and will say anything necessary for some free, cheap publicity. Now they think they get some clicks because they have third-rate podcasts, but nobody's talking about them, and their views are the opposite of MAGA. Or I wouldn't have won the presidential election in a landslide. MAGA agrees with me and just gave CNN 100% approval rating of Trump. God, it's Trump. CNN just gave CNN approval rating of Trump. Not flailing fools like Tucker Carlson, who couldn't even finish college. He was a broken man when he got fired from Fox, and he's never been the same. Perhaps he should see a good psychiatrist. Or Megyn Kelly, who nastily asked me the now famous only Rosie O'Donnell question. Or crazy Candace Owens, who accuses a highly respected first lady of France of being a man. God dang it. Trump, you are killing me. The fact that some media is going to read this shit is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Not even halfway through this shit. All right. Holy crap. Where did I leave off? Of actually being a man when she is not, and will hopefully win lots of money in the ongoing lawsuit. Actually, to me, the First Lady of France is far more beautiful of a woman than Candace. Holy fuck. This motherfucker just said that she's more beautiful than Candace. Oh my God. That is unbelievably savage. Candace Owens will never recover from this. Oh my goodness. Where did we leave off? He says, okay, it's not even close. Or bankrupt Alex Jones, who says the dumbest things and lost his entire fortune, as he should have, for his horrendous attack on the families of Sandy Hook shooting victims, ridiculously claiming it was a hoax. These so-called pundits are losers, and they always will be. Now, fake news CNN, the failing New York Times, and all of the other radical left news organizations are hailing them and giving them positive press for the first time in their lives. They're not MAGA, they're losers, just trying to latch onto MAGA. As president, I could not get them on my side anytime as president, I could get them on my side anytime I want to, but when they call, I don't return their calls because I'm too busy on the world and country affairs. And after a few times, they go nasty, just like Marjorie Trader Brown. But I no longer care about that stuff. I only care about doing right for our country. MAGA is about winning and strength and not allowing Iran to have nuclear weapons. MAGA is about making America great again, and these people have no idea how to do that. But I do, because the United States is now the hottest country anywhere in the world. President Donald J. Trump. Whew, that was a lot. Holy shit. There's a lot there, man. There's a lot. My goodness. Trump. Just going absolute ham. Incredible. Calling Bridget Macron better looking than Candace Owens is freaking hilarious, man. That's gotta fire her up. That's gonna fire her up. But yeah, so there you have it. President Trump has finally addressed a lot of the chaos going on. And on that note, and I think this is important to watch this because I was watching this video earlier. There is absolutely something crazy going on right now. I mean, all bullshit aside, there's some very, very interesting things going on. And Tim Pool uploaded a video on it. And this is a pretty on point video from Tim because I did not realize how much Tim was actually getting lumped in with people like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. I had no idea until I watched this video about it. But a lot of publications are running this narrative that Tim and many other pro-Trump people have turned on Trump. And it's just a lie. It's just a lie. So check this out right here.
To support Trump. And we're witnessing this obvious. I believe that there is a coordinated effort to shatter the MAGA base and those who support Trump. And we're witnessing this obviously with prominent podcast personalities, former TV show hosts who have taken up against Donald Trump, calling him things like the Mad King, saying he must be impeached. Now we have both left and right personalities saying Trump is bad. And oh boy, probably the funniest thing out of all of this is the desperate media attempt to align me outside of the Trump supporting camp. And it's the strangest thing to me. I think it's coordinated. I think it's likely run by bots and not necessarily bots, but coordinated accounts. And so
I think it's foreign accounts or paying people to run this. There's no way, there's no other logical explanation to this, is that there's foreign money that is pushing this to damage Trump's credibility. I think Dermy Wormy sent a super chat the other day that talked about this. Right now, Trump is still the kingmaker. So whoever Trump anoints the next leader of the Republican Party will be the leader of the Republican Party. And they want to discredit him. They think that they can discredit him enough to take away his ability to be a kingmaker. They can't. They cannot do that.
what I would say is I generally have been supportive of Donald Trump. I'm not going to lie or deny it. I think Trump has been kind of like a net positive presidency the past two terms. I do think there's many things he's done wrong. Of course, there is. I think that the Iran war was a mistake. I think it's showing itself to be damaging in the long run. But I am hopeful. I am hopeful that Trump can salvage something. And as I've long explained, I don't think the United States benefits from this Trump is always wrong no matter what rhetoric. We didn't want the war to begin with. Trump backs off the war. I say, okay, let's say it's good. Let's praise it. Let's get him to back.
I agree right here, Godzilla's Greaser. I think 207 Patriots 100% a fan. He's trying too hard. Like, some people have gotten me and they fooled me where they pretend to be a hater and they will criticize me on any fucking stream I'm on. And I completely are like, man, this person hates me. But 207 Patriot, you're a fan. You're just pretending to be a hater. You're not as good as you want to be at it. You got to try harder, man. You're not as convincing as some of us, some of the others for sure.
Back off. Instead, what do we get? You get liberals and conservatives attacking Donald Trump, saying that he's wasted money, he's accomplished nothing, it was a mistake, he's a chicken, he tacos. And I'm sitting there being like, are y'all trying to kick the war back off? Now, I'll admit there's arguments as to whether or not the resolution of this so far has been good or bad. But I'm going to sit here and be like, thank you, Trump. Please, no more. Good job. Let's not do it again. And there are arguments from the pro-Trump camp and the anti-Trump camp as to whether or not we will actually see a strong benefit following the resolution of this war. And I think when you look back at history, when you look back at Hillary Clinton, there's a viral video where she's saying, like, we're going to go to war with Iran. You look at the Bush administration, Bolton saying we're going to go to war with Iran during the Obama administration.
Dude, if Obama, any of these other politicians, if they would have done this, there wouldn't have been any questions about it. However, to be fair, Donald Trump did primarily run on no new wars. This is not necessarily a new war, but this does kind of a little bit deviate from what he is known for from the high level perspective. But it also, if you look at his history, he has been talking about this since 1980. So while it's a little inconsistent with the direct messaging of his campaign, it's completely consistent with who he has been since 1980.
Next year, we will be celebrating in Tehran. They have all wanted this war. And I don't think it matters if it's Trump or anybody else. This war was coming for one reason or another. But it looks to me like there is a big shift happening in the media landscape. And guys, I'm sorry. I am obstinate. You know, look, I'll just say this. I'm a crazy person for believing, or at least thinking it's possible, there is a coordinated effort to push me out of the Trump camp.
Yes.
One of the theories that I've postulated
is this is what I'm agreeing with Tim on. There is a coordinated effort to demoralize Trump supporters. And the more prominent of a Trump supporter you are, which Tim is, I would question if he's true MAGA, because I don't believe Tim is true MAGA. But he, in the eyes of the media, he's just as much of a MAGA supporter as somebody like me, because he's far bigger, has more influence, all of that. So in the eyes of these people in the media, he is a very prominent Trump supporter, but he's not really a true MAGA supporter, in my opinion.
That there are a handful of personalities that will be effectively salvaged post-Trump, of which I am one of them. And so the goal right now is to let the Trump camp be a sinking ship. Anonymous accounts, people you've never heard of, not big prominent shows. And so, I don't know, maybe I'm just going to piss everybody off. I've had some weird phone calls. I'll tell you this. Some weird phone calls with some weird questions. I'll elaborate on that in a little bit. But I really do think that there's a coordinated play at hand. And I wonder if I'm just too obstinate and stupid and too much of a raucous rooster to play ball with whatever they're doing. We have the story from the Daily Beast that popped up a couple days ago. MAGA pod bro predicts crushing Trump humiliation. This is the Daily Beast telling their liberal audience that I, a right-wing guy, am attacking Donald Trump. I'm not. What would the purpose of that be? To tell a liberal audience that I'm critical of Trump. Interesting. Yes. I wonder why. You then have a series of these posts that popped up on X all around the same time that seem to be AI generated or just generic, where they're like, I am done with Candace Owens. I am done with Tucker Carlson and Tim Pool. And I'm like, how am I in the same camp as these guys? It just doesn't quite make a lot of sense. But when I see all of these things popping up, story after story after story in the press, framing it as though I am anti-Trump, I'm curious as to what the end goal of that will be.
Well, again, so on one hand, you have people that build this narrative that the Trump supporters will never criticize Trump no matter what he does. Okay? That's a big narrative out there. It's a narrative about me. They say, Jeremy, you'll never criticize Trump. And then I criticize Trump. And then the moment that I criticize Trump, they go, oh, you're giving up on Trump. It's over. His supporters are turning on him. These people have no ability to have any type of critical thinking or understanding of what it's like to be a normal person. This is exactly how it goes. So with Tim, in their eyes, who's a MAGA pod bro, I don't really would not classify him as that, but in their eyes, he is. The moment that he criticizes Trump at all, he's turned on Trump. And again, this is how they operate.
And then I see something really interesting. I see prominent Trump supporting personalities also claiming that I am anti-Trump and attacking me and my credibility. Just today, I saw a post from Dan Scavino. Actually, I should pull this one up. He didn't say anything about me. He just said influencers, haha. But the responses did include me. And I'll pull this one up. We'll throw this one into the mix. We'll throw it into the mix. And so I'm going to say it like this. Here's my thought process, and I'm going to go through all of this stuff for you. First, probably just crazy. The internet's a weird place, and sometimes people do dumb things, and everyone's nuts. That's probably the simple solution, right? Occam's razor. There's no coordinated effort. People are just people, I guess, and I pop up in the press from time to time, and the truth is some people just don't like me, right? That's easy. However, I actually am familiar with botnets and psychological operations to a certain degree, social engineering. And so I can explain this to you on the X front, how these things manifest and why they do, and the problem with roping me into these things. Now, again, maybe there's a nefarious plot to attack me and strip my viewership and audience from me by accusing me of saying things I didn't say. Probably not. I don't know. Maybe there's it could be. I mean, they hate Trump and Trump supporters. They've always lied about me, claiming that for years they said I was alt-right and a MAGA diehard. And now they're saying I'm attacking Donald Trump. It's the weirdest thing.
When did I say Tucker Carlson can't criticize Trump? Can you point to me where I said Tucker Carlson cannot criticize Trump? Just curious. Can you point that to me? I'm sure you have that timestamp where I say Tucker Carlson is not allowed to criticize Trump. Or did you just not think he would get called out? I'm waiting for the timestamp. I'm sure you have that ready, right? Where I said that Tucker or nobody else can criticize Trump. Please tell me where I said that. Oh, your point. Oh, so you're just shifting it now. So now we're going to move away from the direct accusation that you made to just go, my point is, no, fuck you. You made an accusation that said, I claim Tucker cannot criticize Trump, which I never said, which means you are operating in bad faith already. Now you're shifting the goalpost. Go fuck yourself.
Same publications, right? There could be Tim Pool's salvageable. Let's cut him from the Trump camp. Trump camp sinks. He's out. We have a new shift in the media landscape, and Tim Pool will have credibility as someone who challenged Donald Trump or something like that. Maybe. Honestly, don't know. What I can say is, guys, this is not organic, okay? I don't know, man. Daily Beast running a bunch of stories claiming I'm attacking Trump. Anonymous Twitter accounts running posts saying that I'm anti-Trump and a shill not to be trusted because I'm funded by Iran indirectly with Russia and other nonsense like that. I don't know, whatever. Guys, everything is fake and gay.
Well, that is
true. Phone calls from anybody. Nobody coordinates anything.
I brought this up yesterday, but I think that this continues to further emphasize the point that I'm trying to make. Back in 2016, Billy Bush says that ABC News created a 75-person team in 2016 whose only job was to destroy Donald Trump's career. Now, clearly that didn't work. Clearly that failed. So do you think that they just stopped doing that? Do you think that they just said, hey, we kind of messed up and we couldn't crush Trump. Maybe we'll just not try that anymore? Or do you think that they increased the amount of money and manpower that they put into this over the last decade? Pretty sure they have increased the money and manpower big time. Big time. But what we have to understand, what I have tried to make everybody understand for a while now, is that I guess the best way I can break this down is I'm going to compare old YouTube versus new YouTube. Okay, you had old internet versus new internet. And it's a tale as old as time. When something is organic, you can tell. Old YouTube actually was you in YouTube. There was personality. It was a place that had self-policing. Old YouTube felt natural. It felt normal. There were real personalities being elevated, real individuals, people in their bedrooms making viral videos that were connecting to their audiences and doing all of that. New YouTube is all about money. It's all about algorithm. It's all about fancy editing and personalities that are everywhere. So it's no longer what it used to be. It used to be personal. It used to be the you in YouTube. That's the same thing that has happened with the internet overall. The old internet was a natural place that did reflect the real world in a lot of ways, back when we could be racist. The new internet is completely overtaken by corporate America. It's overtaken by corporate America putting money into it to try to control the narrative about it, to try to control what people, the internet does not represent the real world anymore. The internet represents what corporate America and big money wants you to believe is represented. That's exactly what is going on. And that's the truth of it. And so now we're at this place where this new age of internet that has happened in the last 5 or 6 years, it is being controlled by a lot of money and a lot of influence that is meant to try and sway the public opinion in the way that they want it to. Sad reality of where we are. So,
thing that I say, I wake up, I literally I don't know what I'm talking about today. But I'll tell you this. First, let me show you some of these stories. And we're gonna break this down. I'm gonna explain how botnet campaigns work. I've explained this in the past.
John freaking Murdoch
operation through social media.
For 50. Hang on, let me pull this up. Everything's broken right now. John freaking Murdoch for 50 says, hey, Jeremy, you know I'm a total hater and I would never send you super chats. On the other hand, I saw the Super Mario Galaxy movie and it was great. Hail iDots. Hail the 199 and happy Jessica. Good old John freaking Murdoch. Hail to you, brother. Glad you liked it. I have a Mario Galaxy video up on Geeks and Gamers. I'm very happy with it. So we got some good editing behind that. Shout out to Germified, who's the editor that's doing those videos, and he's doing a good job on those. Logan M with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. Mar Millen says, Mofo Canada spreading my VIN around the world now. What the F? Going back to the JD Vance stuff right there. Red Mage, what's up, Red Mage? Says that acronym is longer than most words in the English language, defeats the purpose of an acronym, JFC. I know, man. I know it. Spirian with a $10 super sticker. Thank you, Spirian. Appreciate you. Thank you, Spirian. All right, let's click on here.
And this has the hallmarks on it. Doesn't mean it's true. I mean, it's entirely possible I'm just a paranoid, delusional guy seeing all of these things and connecting dots where they shouldn't be connected. I'll be rational. I get it. Could be slow news days and people are looking for drama. And so they're like, I don't know, Tim Pool trends a lot. Let's drag him into some drama, I guess. Here's the Daily Beast wrote. MAGA Podbro predicts crushing Trump humiliation. A right-wing podcaster has joined a chorus of Americans growing skeptical of the president's Iran strategy. Really? What did Tim Pool say? Oh, I'll have to pull up the tweet for you. Actually, let's jump to this one, and then actually I have to sign in. I always forget to sign in, boys. You know, it is what it is. And let me just
edit this out.
Here's
Tim.
my own tweet. I could just pull up my tweet, but I think it's better to show you. It's on the Daily Beast website. Tim Pool said, Trump's safest play is off-ramp and declare victory. Iran is driven by ideology and is not going to back down, leaving Trump with 2 options, total annihilation or retreat. Both will be bad, but retreat is the safer and easier option. Trump will likely back down. I didn't call him a chicken. I didn't say he'd be humiliated. I said he's going to assess the situation and take the path of least resistance. That's just a fact statement. That is an assessment. Now, why are they saying that I'm turning on Trump, that I'm predicting a crushing Trump humiliation? Well, it's fair to say you might be like, well, the headline plays well. MAGA fracturing, MAGA bro attacks Trump. Liberals are going to like that, right? I guess.
Now, we're not going to watch all of Tim's video, but the point that I wanted to kind of set up here is that there is a lot of weird stuff going on the internet right now, and there's a lot of optics and there's a lot of narratives being shifted around, and it's very hard to kind of wrap your head around what's real and what's not, what's true, and what's fake. And I don't even know if I can kind of filter through most of it at this point in time, because it's just a complete shit show right now. But very interesting, playing off of, Trump's tweet. And I did cover Trump's tweet. I know many of you came in here and says, Trump just dropped a banger tweet. We already covered that. And that's what led me into the Tim Pool video, to kind of show that there's some crazy stuff going on right now. And I don't know what is the truth. I have no idea, but it is what it is. So we will continue to monitor all of that. The other thing that happened today is that Melania Trump kind of did like a, RK out of nowhere. Like, holy crap, man. Like, just out of nowhere, she just addresses Epstein rumors and everybody is kind of caught off guard. So this is a weird situation that I don't really understand completely. Melania Trump makes major address on Epstein rumors. And no one knew this was happening. No one was prepped on this. It just happened. And here we go.
Here's the First Lady, Melania Trump.
With the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect. I do not object to their ignorance, but rather I reject their mean-spirited attempts to defame my reputation. I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common in New York City and Palm Beach. To be clear, I never had a relationship with Epstein or his accomplice, Maxwell. My email reply to Maxwell cannot be categorized as anything more than casual correspondence. My polite reply to her email doesn't amount to anything more than a trivial note. I am not Epstein's victim. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump. I met my husband by chance at a New York City party in 1998. This initial encounter with my husband is documented in detail in my book, Melania. The first time...
This comment has got to be my favorite one. Hang on. I respect it. Let's see. Did it get censored in my chat? But I'll read it. Who said it? The head's Smitter says, would not. Trump would fuck me up. Like, would not. Trump would fuck me up. He's just like, hey, Don, I respect you, brother. No hate.
I crossed paths with Epstein was in the year 2000 at an event Donald and I attended together. At the time, I had never met Epstein and had no knowledge of his criminal undertakings. Numerous fake images and statements about Epstein and me have been circulating on social media for years now. Be cautious about what you believe. These images and stories are completely false. I'm not a witness or a named witness in connection with any of Epstein's crimes. My name has never appeared in court documents, depositions, victim statements, or FBI in interviews surrounding the Epstein matter. I have never had any knowledge of Epstein abuse of his victims. I was never involved in any capacity. I was not a participant, was never on Epstein's plane, and never visited his private island. I have never been legally accused or convinced of a crime in connection with Epstein's sex trafficking, abuse of minors, and other repulsive behavior. The false smears about me from mean-spirited and politically motivated individuals and entities looking to cause damage to my good name, to gain financially and climb politically, must stop. My attorneys and I have fought these unfounded and baseless lies with success and will continue to maintain my sound reputation without hesitation. To date, several individuals and companies have been legally obligated to publicly apologize and retract their lies about me, such as Daily Beast, James Carville, and HarperCollins UK. Now is the time for Congress to act. Epstein was not alone. Several prominent male executives resigned from their powerful positions after this matter became widely politicized. Of course, this doesn't amount to guilt, but we still must work openly and transparently to uncover the truth. I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors. Give these victims their opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress with the power of sworn testimony. Each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in public if she wishes, and then her testimony should be permanently entered into the congressional record. Then, and only then, we will have the truth. Thank you.
So there you have it. Now, there's a lot here, and there's a lot of questions with this that we're just confused. Everybody is confused. And to get it to make it even more confusing, now again, let me just, preface what I'm going to say here. It is MSNBC, but let's see, right here, President Trump says he knew nothing about his wife Melania's surprise statement distancing herself from Jeffrey Epstein in a statement to MS Now, if that is in fact true.
We're just getting reports from our partner channel MS Now saying that President Trump has told MS Now that he didn't know anything about Melania Trump's statement. So that's to a reporter at MS Now saying that President Trump says that he didn't know anything about Melania Trump's statement. So another extraordinary twist in this saga.
Yeah, that is jaw-dropping, the fact that he didn't know about it, and very surprising given that, as I say, this has been such a political liability, this issue for him. It's plagued him over the last several months, and he's been urging the public to move on, to talk about something else. And then you have his wife, apparently. She's just so excited about this. This is just unbelievable. This is extraordinary. I couldn't believe this. Yeah. Could you believe when, Hunter Biden had cocaine or crack in the White House and Joe didn't know? Oh my God, it's extraordinary. Secretly making this public statement. And I'm also told that she had a lot of close aides, her own personal advisor in the room, and that even some of her closest aides didn't know quite what she was going to say before she said it. So aside from the Jeffrey Epstein scandal, the survivors who were obviously at the heart of this statement, there's an interesting dynamic here emerging about the First Lady's relationship with her husband and about them taking different stances on political issues.
Good Lord. So this is going to be crazy because everybody is freaking out. Remember Terry Moran? Was it ABC where he got fired from? It was something related to Trump where he got fired. I can't remember specifically. This guy right here. He got fired. I believe it was from ABC. And he goes, "Why now? She's obsessed with herself and oblivious to everything else. It's who she is. But she's got to realize how bad this is politically for her husband." Like, what a clown, dude. Like, these guys, it's unbelievable. Now, I'm seeing a lot of the left running with the narrative that Melania is divorcing Trump, and this is her trying to take down his presidency. They've been saying that shit, like, from day one of Trump's presidency. So it is what it is. But, yeah, so right now, I don't know what the motivation is behind this. To me, I don't really recall a lot of conversation around Melania and Epstein recently. There was a little bit couple months ago, but recently it doesn't seem like that's been a really big discussion. So I don't know. Strange timing for sure. Very strange timing. And guess we'll just have to figure out, we'll have to wait and see what ultimately comes from this. But overall, the whole thing seems very weird to me. Very weird. John freaking Murdoch for 50 says, "Happy birthday, ABF." I know it's ABF's birthday because Jessica said so. Well, I have a question for you, John freaking Murdoch, and maybe you can answer that question for me.
Who the fuck is Alec Baldwin's finger?
Trying to figure that one out. But thank you, John freaking Murdoch, and happy birthday to ABF. I think he's got a stream tonight. I'm not sure. Legalized adulthood for 1990 says Dave Rubin called. He told me he is completely in favor of the Maha agenda. He says it's good for every man in America to be hard again. Honestly, not sure what substance he's been using lately. I'm going to be honest. I didn't need that information, but I did need the super chat. So I guess I can, I guess it's just necessary evil. So thank you. Legalize adulthood. Ministry Wrong Thing for $9.99 says Tucker is desperately trying to go mask off as a foreign asset. He said, for the sake of honesty, the U.S. needs to admit we lost and that we do not have the most powerful military on earth. Bro, did he say that? Where is that at? I haven't heard that one. So let's see here. I'll see. Can somebody tag me in that? While we're looking for that, I've got to show everybody this because, again, the day just keeps getting crazier. Hunter Biden just randomly challenged both Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump to a cage match. No, I'm not making this up. Hunter Biden has just challenged Don Jr. and Eric Trump to a cage match.
Hey guys, Hunter Biden here. I just got a call from Andrew Callahan. He asked me to come out on the Channel 5 Carnival Tour at the end of the month. I think we start in Phoenix and then we go to San Diego and we end in Albuquerque. And I think he's trying to organize a cage match, me versus Eric and Don Jr. I told him I'd do it. Hey guys.
Little Randy Orton theme right there. What are we doing, man? And this is legit. Like, Dom, I'll follow Dom. So like, but this is posted in a lot of places. But now we have Hunter Biden challenging the Trump sons to a cage match. My goodness, dude. What the hell is happening? Everything is hilarious on the internet right now. Everything. Like you can't get out of let's see. JRG Project says the media really is playing with fire when it comes to Melania. Donald J. Trump is used to it and even embraces the madness. Melania doesn't. And I think that if the media pushes this too far, they are truly over. It'll be interesting. I'm very like I just don't have a good feel for what exactly is going on. I'm not understanding it. What prompted this statement from Melania on Epstein?
Shouting questions when the First Lady left the room there. Senior White House correspondent Jackie Heinrich has been asking some of those questions, trying to find out what else we know about this statement, what prompted this statement, why this afternoon. These are obviously, Jackie, all questions that are on our mind.
And I wish, Martha, they were questions I had answers to. Unfortunately, I don't. This came out of left field for us here covering the White House. The press shop did not give us any insight into what this announcement would be about. That's typical. Oftentimes, the First Lady doesn't share a lot of details with the White House communications shop that covers the president on what her announcements might be. We didn't, for instance, get a lot of details ahead of her prior announcement on her efforts bringing home Ukrainian children. But similarly, we had no heads up on this. We're not getting any information from them now, including whether or not the president was aware she would be making this statement. It's unclear to us if she is reacting to something or that's already happened, already come out, or getting ahead of a story that might be about to drop. We don't really know.
So that's kind of where we are right now. So we'll just have to see. But the internet's going to go wild with this news, as they obviously always do. So there's another clip right here.
Jackie, this was pretty strong, pretty serious statement from the First Lady.
Yeah, it was. And we've been trying to understand why she made it today. If there was something that's reacting to that might already be in the news that has upset her, or if there's a story that's yet to come out that's about to drop that she wanted to get ahead of, because it did feel like it came out of left field for us. I mean, the Epstein story writ large has not been above the fold, so to speak, for quite a while. I mean, the attention here has been on other matters. And we knew that as of yesterday, that she was going to make a statement to the public that reporters would be able to come in and broadcast, report on. We didn't know what the subject area would be. We got no heads up ahead of time. And even now, reaching out to her office, they're not giving us any background or context, saying that they're going to let her comments stand on their own. The White House press shop, which is, for the president's team, who we cover primarily, also doesn't have anything that they can share with us. Unclear to us if the president was aware she would be making this statement, honestly. We're trying to figure that out, but she was very clear that she wants to clear her name, basically, about these, lies that are linking her to Epstein. She said that she met her husband by chance at a party.
Well, look at this right here. This is interesting. I just saw this. I don't know who this person is. Scott McFarlane. Epstein survivor texted me to say, what a bizarre thing for the First Lady to do. Why would an Epstein survivor be bothered by what Melania just did? Wouldn't an Epstein survivor be very thankful that the First Lady of the United States of America just said in front of the world that she thinks that the Epstein victims need to have their voice? That's very interesting. He works for Midas Touch. He's connected then. If he works for Midas Touch, that is a left-wing propaganda machine. They're very, very, very well funded. So they're very well funded. But that's just an odd response. Why would that bother you as an Epstein survivor?
And it was interesting to me to have her addressing any of this controversy. It's just not something she usually does.
Right.
And it's certainly not something that we were tracking every day. The only recent story involving Epstein that sort of bubbled to the surface was that Pam Bondi wouldn't be testifying before Congress because she's no longer the Attorney General. But in the recent weeks, there's not been focus on this, and we're still trying to figure out why she made this statement today. And I've called every contact in my phone, including the president, and not gotten any answers. So
now this is interesting. Hang on. We are reporting that the president understood what his wife was going to say in advance. That counters what MS Now said.
We are reporting that the President Trump, understood that his wife planned to make this statement, knew what she was going to say in advance of her saying it. What does that say to you about his role in all of this?
What happened to MS Now's lies saying that he didn't know? So which is it? Is it CNN? Is CNN being honest, which is hard to believe? Is MS Now being honest, which is hard to believe? You got two lying organizations literally reporting different things.
Again, really good question. I wonder if the Iran talks are going poorly and they needed to distract us again. I wonder if So according to the left, we went to war with Iran to distract from the Epstein stuff. Now we are using the Epstein stuff to distract from Iran. The president is supporting her in her effort to promote her book. I don't know what it is, honestly. This is catching us by surprise. What I do know is if she wants to clear her name, she can come before a committee and testify under oath. And what I do know, she and the president both have the power to make the story go away on them and give the people what they want and what the public wants and what the survivors want, which is releasing all of the files and full transparency so we can actually prosecute people who are involved in these heinous crimes.
I've spoken to a number of
I just have to bring it up because of course I do. Is Israel behind this one too, since they control everything? I'm sure Israel is behind the First Lady of the United States getting in front of the world and talking about Epstein and his crimes, right? So are they behind this one too? Israel wanted her to talk about Epstein because he was a Mossad agent. So they wanted her to highlight him since they control everything. Okay, right here. Here we go. A source tells CNN that President Trump did get a heads up that Melania Trump's statement was coming. Hang on.
Hearings. Now, one source familiar says President Trump did get a heads up this was coming, but certainly adding momentum to an issue that they have sought to tamp down, Casey.
Yeah, I don't believe any of the thing. I don't believe anything that the mainstream is saying about this. I don't believe a damn thing. You got your 7K. I'm still waiting. I'm getting ready to go full anti-Israel if they don't pay me. Okay? I'm getting ready. So I'm looking at the bank account. All right. As soon as that bank account hits, it'll be back to whatever the fuck those stupid hats they wear are. What are those fucking things? I'll be back to wearing that underneath my hat, but not today. Not today. Yarmulke or whatever the fuck it's called. So which pays more? We'll find out. We'll find out. I'm on the market. I'm a free agent, Qatar. From the looks of it, Qatar pays a lot better than Israel. From the looks of it. So, because, Qatar is funding like Tucker and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Alex Jones and all these other people. You know, Israel, who's Israel got? I mean, it's not like they have to pay Ben Shapiro because Ben's already going to, shill for them. So they're not having to pay Ben. Who are they paying? What prominent people are they paying? Pretty sure Qatar pays a lot better. Just saying. Okay, next up. First, let me get caught up on the super chats real quick. Zinny Biscuit got that one. Heath Nature says, "Hail Cam Man 1984. Hail the tribal can." Dio Brando says, have you already forgotten what Jesse Ventura said? The ICE people. Dark Red Knight says, Jeremy's a distraction from Iran, which is a distraction from the Epstein files, which is a distraction from Israel. Daniel Moore says, the deputy commissioner for the Irish police is from the corrupt Toronto PD. She's treating us even worse than the Canadian truckers, sending tanks in. Holy shit. Clumsy Dork says, now I know ABC, next time you won't sing with me. Beckinator Plays says, I ain't even reading out that shit. It's not a valid password. It's missing a lowercase letter. Jeremy Wormy says, yep, the main goal right now is to discredit Trump. And so they can choose the next person and have control over that person. Agreed. Fear the Door Greeter says, this is how I greet doors. Or I greet people at the door, I guess. Hey! Joe C says, President Trump ran on no more forever wars, not no more wars. The media and most people continue to misquote him. This is true. Daniel Moore says, Tucker isn't just criticizing him. He was calling him an evil genocidal maniac and told the military to remove him from office. You're not, and that's obviously you are correct, but you're not going to be able to talk to retards that are going to be like, Jeremy, are you saying Tucker can't criticize Trump? I've never said no one. You can criticize Trump all day long. I think you should criticize Trump. Absolutely. Should you say he should be removed from office by the military because he's potentially the Antichrist? At that point in time, no, you are retarded. Southeastern Kaiju says, oh, Jeremy, you know the thing. Come on, man. Jeremy Wormy says, we're living through QAnon 2.0. Philip Butler says, podcasters prepping for the lame duck Trump so they can eat rhino ass in 2029, hedging their bets, trying to get back on the mainstream media train. Grindo Drum says, Iran has a lot of powerful friends. China, Russia, and all of them would benefit from this smear campaign. They want USA weak, divided, and not strong. MAGA Mike says, do you think monetization is destroying X? That's a really difficult question to ask because Twitter is far better than it was under Jack Dorsey. I mean, you could say the same about YouTube. Like, has monetization ruined YouTube? And so I think that there's maybe an argument to be made, but I also don't think that you should take people's ability to make money on social media platforms away because it's being weaponized by other people. You know what I mean? So while maybe it is destroying X, I'm not in the camp of saying shut it down. Now, I don't make shit off Twitter. So I make a little bit. I make like $20 a month or something like that. But I don't tweet a whole lot. But maybe monetization has hurt it, but I'm not an advocate to get rid of the monetization. Alex Eric says, I'm 199% IDOT and MAGA Meta PC code 199. That's right. If you are in the market for a new PC, you can go to Meta PC and use the promo code 199 and you will be helping out G&G as always. Hail Meta PC. I'm Your Pepper says, the smearing never stops. The left will not leer. I am Brockatron says, I've been calling them Marxist. Then Carlson goes and agrees with some that Christianity is pro-socialist. What the F? I know. It's crazy. Beef Nasty says, been saying Trump is the Antichrist since 2016. Still voted for him 3 times in a blue state. You think Trump's the Antichrist for real? Official Brandon Collins for a 199. Thank you. Nagranal says, ABF only needs 97 more subs on his gaming channel. We'll drop the link. I'll pin it right now. Let's see. Hakoa says, I'm not fighting a crackhead with 3 legs. Toke Fan says, remember when Hunter measured his duck with mini M&Ms to make it look bigger? I don't remember that. Penelope Page becomes a new member. Thank you. Little Jim's Halo says, whizzing wall tax. We know there's a photo of the wall. Daniel Moore says, now they're lying to the EU saying the tanks are for readiness training for nothing, I guess, even though they're arresting protesters. Sounds crazy over there, brother. Be safe. Let me pin that right there. All right. Sub to ABF's gaming channel He needs 97 subs. Let's get him there. I think we can do it. JRG Project says, does Meta PCs have a laptop version or is it all desktops? I haven't looked recently. I think they have laptops, but I'm not positive. Somebody in the chat, can they confirm that one? I'm sure people in the chat knows. Sorry, I don't have the answer for you off the top of my head. Ministry of Ron Think says, I thought Jared Kushner was just a stooge put in by Israel to make sure Trump carries out their bidding. Then why is he literally part of the negotiation team during a ceasefire that Israel hates? You know? Yes, they do, says Eric K. So there you go, JRG Projects. They do. All right. We're getting people over there. Sweet. Good stuff. Johnny Witzka says, I'm actually sad. Let's see. I'm actually sad what those four have become. Still, I would do the same Trump did and call them out. I won't forget how they fought and how we defended them. I just have to wonder what will happen to them. Talking about the people Trump called out. Waffle Master says, as funny as it is, I'm not the biggest fan of the bankrupt opinion. Luckily, I'm not a single issue voter, so I can easily say the rest of it is funny and valid. Being a single issue voter is one of the worst things that's going on right now. And you have a lot of single issue voters. A lot of these people are emotionally broken, and they will sit there and support a candidate until there's one fucking issue, and then they jump ship immediately. Let's see. What is this? Are they talking about Trump's True Social post right here? CNN's Brandon on message Todd Trump's True Social post about Alex Jones, Tucker, Meghan, and Candace. Let's hear this real quick.
I also think what we're seeing is the sharks circling in the water. The Trump era is ending. It has to. And
does it?
I'm not going there quite yet.
Okay.
But what I will say is that this is a fight over the future of the party. And what you're seeing now, and the president's, I will say, making it very easy for that fight now to burst out into the open because of his actions, which are hugely controversial. But there is a huge split in MAGA over Israel in particular. That was the early lead indicator. And now over the Iran war, which, this group of the right thinks Israel dragged the United States into. And so if you want to take the crown, you have to take down the king. And I think that's what you're seeing.
Though, you can't judge the entire circus by a couple of clowns. And that's what we have here. I mean, the dovish, isolationist, anti-American military wing of the Republican Party, it's not a wing. It's a shed in the backyard. These are just a very, very few people. They just happen to have a pretty good megaphone. And we pay way too much attention to them. If you go to the House and
Donald
the
Trump
Senate,
elected.
they did
Tucker
not.
Carlson helped get Donald Trump
people
elected.
that
Megyn
got-
Kelly campaigned with him. I mean, these are all people that you can't say that the last election was like the podcast election and then all of a sudden say, these people don't matter. I mean, it is a clear sign of trouble for the coalition.
It is a bunch of people that are more interested in their own future on a personal level than the future of the country. That is what it is. That's the bottom line. Now, what's interesting is Marjorie Taylor Greene went on CNN and called for Trump's removal from office. Let me repeat that one more time. Marjorie, I almost want to call her Trader Brown, but Marjorie Taylor Greene went on CNN and called for Trump's removal from office.
Remains tense amid this fragile temporary truce, even after President Trump backed down from his threat to eliminate a, quote, whole civilization in Iran.
And joining us now to discuss what's going on, the former Republican Congresswoman, Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. Congresswoman, thanks so much for joining us. I know you recently called for the president to be removed from office under the 25th Amendment to the Constitution after that threat that he made about destroying the whole civilization of Iran. The president has a long history of shocking and unprecedented social media posts. Why was this the final straw for you?
Because it's.
And by the way, I got to give a shout out to Marjorie Taylor Greene. I do. I know like we disagree on a lot of things, but she's come a long way. She's come a long way. And I think I want a round of applause in the chat for her because she did have that pretty bad moment at the GameStop. I'm sure you remember. If for those that are not aware, this is Marjorie Taylor Greene. A few years ago, she had a really tough time at a GameStop.
You need to settle down and mind your business, okay? Ma'am, once again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir. Once again, it's ma'am.
I actually said both of you guys. It was a general.
Right beforehand, you fucking said sir.
Sir? Okay.
Motherfucker, take it outside. If you want to call me sir again, I will show you a fucking sir.
I apologize.
Motherfucker.
I apologize now.
So, look, she's come a long way. We got credit where credit's due. All right. We're fair here at CobraCast 199. Fair is fair.
It's absolute madness. How can any person that is mentally stable call for an entire civilization of people to be murdered, to be wiped out, to never come back again? That's what the president called for. And that shows that there's serious instability in his thinking, that he would, not only would he even say that in a private room, perhaps with his advisors, but actually go to his megaphone, his Truth Social, and post that for the entire country and the entire world. And it's unreal. This should never be tolerated. I know it's a very difficult, hard stretch to see it actually coming through, but the conversation needs to be had, and he's out of control. And people within the administration need to step up, take responsibility, and rein this in.
And administration officials, as we've heard, have said that he was ready to follow through with this threat. Just hours after he made it, he announced this 2-week ceasefire that's still very tenuous at the moment. The White House is claiming it was the president's tough rhetoric that brought Iran to its knees. What do you say to that?
I'm sorry. That's not tough rhetoric. It's insanity. It's calling for the murder of an entire civilization of men, women, children, of innocent civilians. That is not what I would call proper or even decent negotiations. There should be negotiations happening, and they did happen.
The internet will always hear you fuck up a word, and the chat is letting her have it right now.
And J.D. Vance, the vice president, was the one that helped bring that ceasefire. It doesn't seem to be much of a ceasefire, but it is supposedly a ceasefire. And that happened through negotiations through J.D. Vance. And J.D. Vance did not go to his social media and threaten to murder every single man, woman, and child in Iran. Presumably, we can only presume that that would happen through nuclear bombs, because that's the type of horrific weaponry that would be used to wipe out an entire civilization. So no, I push back on that. And I think the American people fully agree. Everyone was outraged.
I just want to be clear, Congresswoman, do you genuinely believe President Trump had the intention of killing Iran's entire population of more than 90 million people if Iran had not agreed to a ceasefire? Is the U.S. military, for example, even capable of that?
I don't think that our good men and women in the U.S. military would want to even carry something like that out. That's the other thing. And I think that's important.
Let me show you this too before we move to this. I got some incoherent name for 50 says Carlson, Jones, and Barnes were publicly advocating for a coup during wartime. That goes beyond free speech. It was straight up sedition. They better hope Trump isn't mind controlled by Jay wizards like they've been saying. Agreed, man. Like what they like. There's criticizing Trump. And then there's what these people have been doing, dude. Like we're in a whole different world, man. The type of shit that people, the things that people are calling for and saying right now. Like, for instance, look at this, and thank you, incoherent name. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. Right here, look at this. Marjorie Taylor Greene says the Republican Party needs to be burned to the ground. Okay. She was on with Alex Jones.
We have to do justice. May the heavens fall. God will come through for us. But I think we just, I think we discredit Trump. We have power of the public that agrees with us. 80% of Americans don't want this war of ground troops. And I just think we keep hammering Trump and saying no to the neocon Israeli cult. And we just move forward. And I think it's important for Republican candidates and leaders, and more this is happening with your leadership. People that say, I'm America first. I'm not a leftist. We're not with the Democrats, but we're not with Trump. I think it's just time to everybody.
Honestly, man, like, I feel like the mainstream media is more powerful maybe now than it was even before the rise of independent media. The mainstream media has completely overrun independent media again. The rise of the Tucker Carlsons, the Megyn Kellys, the Piers Morgans, all of this, and then they're buying up people that have prominent followings to run their message. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane what's going on.
Shun Trump and to just absolutely kind of isolate him and explain that he's history, he's over, because I'm so worried about the midterms. Can you speak to just general your views on politics? Because waiting, with the Trump tyranny's bad enough. Then we have the Democrats with Gavin Newsom and all this craziness and, AOC. You valiantly come out and actually challenge these wars, challenge Epstein. AOC does it retardedly half-assed. She says MTG's not for real. No, she's not for real. I'm trying to attack her. It's just that we have to remember how bad they are.
Right. No, the Democrats we can't vote for Democrats. That's not even an option. Democrats are not an option.
So what do we do?
They haven't changed their ways. Okay, here's what we have to do. We have to be realistic about the Republican Party. The Republican Party needs burned to the ground. It's completely controlled. As a matter of fact, much of Congress is controlled by AIPAC and by Zionists. And that is a serious problem. That means you, the American people, don't control your own government.
Why did you quit if you're so interested in helping it? You don't, if you think there's a problem, but you quit and tuck your tail and run, how is anybody supposed to take you seriously at that point in time?
Those you elect, they're controlled by donors that have one specific interest, and that is Israel. Now, we're talking about the secular government of Israel. We're not talking about Jewish people, so I don't want to hear any of the anti-Semitism stuff. We're over that. Here's what we have to do, Alex. We have to support candidates, and we have to fight hard for candidates that will not take money from AIPAC or AIPAC adjacent donors. That is a very...
Why don't you say... Let's listen to what she said here, okay? Let's listen to this one more time.
Want to hear any of the anti-Semitism stuff? We're over that. Here's what we have to do, Alex. We have to support candidates, and we have to fight hard for candidates that will not take money from AIPAC or AIPAC adjacent.
One more time. One more time.
What we have to do, Alex. We have to support candidates, and we have to fight hard for candidates that will not take money from AIPAC or AIPAC adjacent.
Why didn't she say we need to support candidates that don't take money from foreign entities in any way, shape, or form? Why did she specifically say we need to support candidates that don't take money from AIPAC? Why didn't she say we need to support candidates that don't take money from any foreign lobbies in any way, shape, or form?
Donors. That is a very serious issue. And the reality about Trump, everybody's like, what's wrong with Trump? The president is controlled and everyone can see it. People are just afraid to say it out loud. But the reality is that he's completely controlled. Look who his biggest donors are. Look at Miriam Adelson. And this is the reality that has to be talked about. And it's gotten to a point where I'm afraid people aren't opening their eyes, but you need to open your eyes. Right now, the president is leading the greatest military on earth, men and women that we all know and love, and their families love them very much. And he is leading our military to fight a war on behalf of Israel.
Am I going to cry anti-Semitism? Have you ever heard me cry anti-Semitism? Have you ever heard me use that language? Have you ever heard me talk about it? Like, to me, it's the same thing as calling out racism. Identity politics is a cancer and should be eliminated completely. Anybody that plays identity politics, anybody that plays the fake victim, I have no use for them, period.
This is not for America. This is for Israel. And Israel is out of control. JD Vance did an amazing thing, and that needs to be talked about. I've talked to several people today. JD Vance is the one that led it to the point where they got to a ceasefire decision and walked Trump off the ledge of it killing an entire civilization. So I really wanted to tell you, JD Vance did that, and that he is diligently working very hard.
See, this is the NPC update. Everybody, and again, this is nothing against JD Vance. I like JD Vance a lot. I think JD Vance is awesome. Donald Trump is not a complicated person. People overcomplicate him, but he is not a complicated person. He's very simple in terms of he likes to be praised, he likes to get credit, and he likes for people to acknowledge him and his accomplishments. This is very simple. This is not hard at all. Okay? Now, what he doesn't like is when other people get credit for his work. He really fucking hates that. They know this simple method is going to be effective. They are trying to drive a wedge in between Trump and Vance with that language. Robert Barnes pushed it. Alex Jones pushed it. Now Marjorie Taylor Greene is pushing it. They're all trying to give Vance the credit for the things that are happening and not Trump. And that's going to piss Trump off. Sad but true, that will bother Trump. If you want to talk about Trump's kryptonite, that's his kryptonite right there.
But he can't do it by himself. It's the president. And the president is the one that needs to tell Israel no. That's the only way forward, is to tell Israel, no, you cannot control our military. No, you cannot have our money, our hard-earned tax dollars. We won't give it to you while you're killing people in Lebanon, and you carried out genocide in Gaza.
So there's that. I think we had something else with this right here. So here is Marjorie Taylor Greene told Alex Jones that she and others have been speaking offline to ensure that they will be guiding the ship once Trump is gone, because President Trump will soon be the past and everyone needs to start looking past him.
Wanted so bad. Hold people accountable, for the love of God. Put Anthony Fauci in jail. Put people in prison for what they've done to the American people.
They killed, Todd Blanche killed all the investigations now. He's the head of all those investigations.
Yeah, and nothing will happen. That's the other thing. So here, going forward in the future, Alex, I believe this is the discussion that we need to keep having. And we are, me and you and others, and we do it offline, and it's important. And we need to make sure that we're in control and we are guiding the ship, because President Trump is soon to be the past. And everyone needs to learn to start looking past him. President Trump is going to be gone very soon. And we have to build a future for our children and our grandchildren. And that's the part that's most important to think about. And the way I think it needs to be going forward is we have to recognize what a failure the Republican Party is. We have to be willing to step outside political boundaries and go, what type of leaders do we really want? And for me, it's America first. I want moral America first leaders that will put the American people first instead of their own interest or their friends.
Considering that Donald Trump's life has been directly threatened with 3 assassination attempts on record and many more that we are not aware of, using the type of language that she just used is downright insane.
Or whatever disgusting things they're doing, which is sadly the case. But I think that is where the future is going. And Republicans are going to get killed in the midterms. I've been saying it for a long time. It's going to be a bloodbath. And you know what? It shouldn't happen. It wasn't supposed to be that way, but so be it. You can't blame people for refusing to want to vote for a party that has failed them over and over and over again. And, I don't blame people. It's like, why do you want to keep buying a product that is crap?
It's like we're in a movie, dude. Like, seriously, think about this. This is real life. This is the real world. Donald Trump is so powerful, and he takes up so much oxygen. And I've talked about this many years. And we have never, ever, ever seen one single individual that creates so much attention as Donald Trump. As I've said, there's always going to be a president. There's always going to be a pope. There's always going to be a CEO of a company. There's only one Donald Trump, and he takes up all the attention, and it will be I don't know how to explain it. It will be a seismic shift when he is no longer in office, when he is no longer in power, and it will open the floodgates. We are essentially looking at a real life Game of Thrones right now. That's what is playing out. Hopefully this one ends a little bit better than the TV series did, but this is a real life Game of Thrones playing out right now. And he has the throne and everybody wants it. And once he's out of the way, it's going to be open season and everybody wants that spot. Everybody wants it. Everybody is going to be going after it. It's pretty crazy, man. I can't even conceptualize in my head like what it's like to be Donald Trump with all of these people constantly after you, constantly trying to take you out. The most powerful people in the world are constantly going after this guy 24/7. There's not a moment in a day that somebody somewhere with major power, with major influence and major funding is not operating against Donald Trump. And he continues to stay above all of this shit. It's fucking crazy. It makes no sense. It really doesn't. But that's some wild stuff from her and others. And again, man, this is the guy right here that wants to tell you, this is the guy, Alex Jones, that wants to tell you that Trump has lost it. This guy right here.
Come back. I'm gonna come back.
Come back whenever you want.
How long are you in Austin?
Couple weeks.
Here for South by Southwest.
We're not here for it, but we're here during it. You know, one of the reasons I came down here is I was going to be playing poker at the lodge, and then the state shut them down. I'm pissed about it.
What's weird was I texted you a week ago. Somebody texted me and said, "Hey, Tim's here. Come on the show." I'm like, "Am I supposed to be on your show?" Like, I don't know, but play poker. But
yeah, well, we want to do a poker game with you and a few other people. Not so much about poker, but about having fun, goofing off, and I think it'd be really fun to play a game.
I'm ready. I'm ready. But don't follow me at Real Life Shows on X, Infowars.com. We're getting shut down. We beat so many attacks, but finally we're shutting down like the middle of next month.
Wow,
it's gonna be insane what happens. People can,
Yeah. So
the fake receiverships, the fake auctions, all of it's happening right now.
So what are you gonna do? You're launching a new thing, or what are you doing?
Yeah, Alex Jones Network. We'll be fine.
All right. Well, are you leaving? Is that why you're saying all this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am exhausted, brother.
Well, it's good to have you.
I was this 4 a.m. Unless you're gonna do a table dance for me.
No.
He's not on this table.
None of this. Yeah.
Maybe
no.
next time.
These things are probably like
Yeah,
$20.
it's really not going to withstand anybody.
Oh no, these are
standing on-
okay.
Well, they're not good, but-
Pull it
Maybe
off.
do a table dance.
Where's she at?
You
Anyways,
sound tired. You should look like falling asleep.
Exhausted.
Have a nice rest, man.
Well, it's good having you, brother. Just come back whenever you
You guys
want.
go for hours, right?
Yeah, we're gonna go for another 2 hours.
I want to come back.
You are allowed. That is always that is acceptable.
Here for 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
Do not visit Real Life Shows on X. Do not follow it.
Too late. They're there right now.
Dangerous.
Real Alex Jones on X. Did you get it?
But imagine a giant Joe Rogan pussy right up there. We're like,
But hey, Trump is the one that's losing it, guys. It's Trump losing it. It's Trump. Okay. Do I still have his number? I still have a number. I haven't talked to him in years, so I still have a number for Alex. I don't know if it's still his number or not. But that's where we are. That's where we are. We got Andrew for 50. Says, taking a step back and drawing from what WWE has taught us, we see the familiar hero to heel arc. When one considers why a hero is deliberately turning into a heel, the motives become evident. No one knows what the midterm brings but God. I like it. I like it. And to be fair, I've been saying for a while that politics is the new wrestling. Because current WWE, and to be fair, WWE has been awful for over a decade, if not more. So the current product is terrible. But the political landscape is the new professional wrestling. And so there's a lot of kind of crazy things going on. And this is kind of like the Attitude Era, you know? So I like your thinking. I like your thinking. Whiskey Niner says MTG sounds like just like The View. Yes, 100%. Beef Nasty says you don't like Tim Pool. I get it. I follow him the same reason I follow you. You stay true to your opinions. But I didn't even talk bad about Tim Pool though. I mean, I gave Tim credit. So I've said 100 times though. I mean, again, broken record, but I mean, I do respect Tim Pool. I respect what he does. The video he did though that I was reacting to was really good. JRG Project says the Republican Party reminds me of the schism between the PGA Golf and the Live Golf. Live was funded and created by Saudi Arabia and paid the players when the PGA did not. Saudi money pays more. Oh yeah, there was a big controversy right there for sure. Marmillan says MTG, like Megan, are just pure feminist people falling for their clearly leftist logic with mean words. Also, can't believe Alex said Trump's is it tyranny? Is that what he said? Is that what he said? When did he say that? Did I miss that one? But yeah, like in terms of Megan and MTG, again, Megyn Kelly did the whole trans thing. Megyn Kelly. Hang on. How do I spell her fucking name? Megyn Kelly. This was her. Now, again, it's tough to kind of bring up people doing stuff from years and years ago, but when you actually see her flip as much as she's flipped on this Trump thing, you bring something like this up and it's like, I'm seeing a pattern.
Stage right now are all transgender kids who want others to know it is possible to transition socially with love and support and acceptance within a family and a community. Please welcome 16-year-old Nicole, 12-year-old Daniel, 14-year-old Gia, 15-year-old Landon, and 13-year-old Stella. Their parents are also here. Morning, everyone. Morning. Also joining me in our special audience is Gira Goldstein, who's a transgender woman who is the co-founder, along with Jen Grosslandler, who you just met, of the Gender Cool Project, a new movement that is being launched today. We're going to tell you all about it, and it's actually really important. So, all right, welcome to you all.
So don't sit there and tell me Megyn Kelly is not a perfect candidate for a foreign entity to pay her a lot of money to turn on Donald Trump. She's the literal perfect candidate, and she's shown her true colors time and time and time again. She will say whatever she needs to say to lean into whatever she needs to lean into. So it's just kind of crazy, man, that this is where we are. News Spectre says, these scholars are talking about meeting in secret, meeting in the shadows to help guide a party in a different direction to the president, because that always worked out well in the past. Damn good observation right there. Damn good observation. John Orchard from 15 says, so Iran chanting death to America and death to Israel is acceptable. If Iran had a nuke, they would use it. Is this not their logic? There is nothing wrong with standing up for America. Not one. I agree completely. Chris says, the problem with our modern politics is that we have too many women and coloreds involved and too many weak white men afraid to start pushing them out. Liberalism is the disease of the West. It really is. Liberalism is the disease. And it's not going to get any better anytime soon. Sad reality of it. Daniel Moore says, I'm going to Parliament to call them figs again. Johnny Witzkin says, yes, I'm talking about Alex, Tucker, Candace, and Kelly. JRJ Project says, is MTG doing Chuck Schumer? I don't think I want to know the answer to that question. Philip Butler says, Alex sounds like a wet fart when he talks. Daniel Moore says, MTG, Tucker, Candace, and Alex Jones' careers died of AIDS, America, and Israel derangement syndrome. MAGA Mike says, I have Alex Jones fatigue. Tired of that guy. MAGA pushed and got him unbanned, and now he completely betrays us and the leader of our party. Fuck off. I'm in the same boat, brother. I'm in the same boat. Dark Red Knight says, if Israel is controlling Trump, then how is JD Vance able to control Trump too? It's almost like when you start noticing and when you start asking questions of the anti-Israel crowd, it's almost like their arguments fall apart completely. That is a perfect noticing right there. Looks like we're starting to notice. So on one hand, you have Israel's controlling all of this. It's Netanyahu. He's controlling Trump. And then the same people that run with that say JD Vance is stepping in and handling things because Trump is out of control. It's like, but if Trump's out of control, how is he being controlled by Israel? And if Israel's controlling Trump, then why does JD Vance need to step in and control Trump? The great noticing will continue. Oh, man, they don't like when the noticing is flipped right back around on them. Jeremy Wormy says, thank you, MTG, for confirming what I said. Correct. Ministry of Wrong Things says, reminder, MTG was insider trading while in Congress. Incoherent Name says, MTG said the quiet part out loud. We need to control the party. Ministry of Wrong Things says, the pilot leaker to media was a female spec ops. VJ the Vigilant says, Alex tweeted about Melania. Alex Jones did? Oh, boy. Oh, Candace Owens just tweeted about it. Look at there. It may be time to put Grandpa up in a home. Says the person that literally says the craziest shit on the internet every day. See, they don't like when you battle their craziness with more craziness. They don't like that. That really bothers them. Like, how dare you? How dare you? I'm the person that says crazy stuff. You can't say crazy stuff like I do. You can't do that. Look at here. Ladies and gentlemen, one of our favorite people in all of Washington, Anna Paulina Luna, has just said, Chairman Comer has agreed to call the following individuals who were listed as Epstein co-conspirators by the FBI, yet given plea deals. Here we go.
That Jeffrey Epstein was running an intelligence gathering operation. In my professional opinion, I do believe it was a honeypot operation. And I do believe that there's a list of individuals who did engage in trafficking, were given these plea deals, and I'm going to name those individuals right now. The first one would be Leslie Groff. The second one, Sarah Kellen. The third one, Nadia Markova. And the fourth one, Adriana Ross. All of these women engaged in the trafficking of minors as adults. They were working and complicit with Jeffrey Epstein's operation. And in my opinion, they are not to be given victim status because they did partake in harming young girls. I remember seeing in some of the files, some of these girls were, as young as 10, 11 years old and older. And so obviously we have a lot of work to do, but I did want to come and give an update and let you that
So there you have it right there. There's a lot going on right now. There's a lot cooking. Man, oh man, what a busy, busy day. Let me see. All right. What is this? Tucker has either lost it or he's on the payroll of disinformation. Hang on.
Which are embarrassing. And we actually can tell ourselves we're the strongest military in the world. And you want to be the strongest military in the world because that's great. But if you are the strongest military in the world, why can't you force Iran to open the bottleneck at the end of the Persian Gulf and let vitally needed commodities out to the rest of the world, including you? Like, if you're so powerful, why can't you get it done? And so what we've learned is we're really not as powerful as we said we were and probably as we thought we were. And that's bad for us, but it's also dangerous because it invites aggression.
Oh my God. This motherfucker just implied that the United States military is not as powerful as they said they were. Holy shit, man. I truly believe that the motivation behind this is to try to push Trump to do something crazy. That's what they want. They want him to do something insane. That's not going to happen, but that's what they are wanting to happen. They want him to, they wanted the nuke dropped. Are you, Tucker, are you saying that we can't drop a fucking nuke on Iran? Of course we can. What kind of retarded statement is that we can't do that? So now you're mad because Trump is not this murdering machine that you pretended that you were offended over that he was going to be. Oh my God, I can't believe he would imply that he would end the civilization. Oh my God, I can't believe this. And now that he doesn't do that, now you claim that the United States military is not as powerful as it was claimed to be. That is fucking wild right there. That is next level. That is so disrespectful to our military. That's so disrespectful. That is unbelievable. Marmillan says U.S. military not as powerful. We lost 15 and got 40 of their top guys, not to mention thousands of other soldiers, key infrastructures, etc. Exactly. This is probably one of the most this is one of the most cut and dry things he has said that just shows the world who he is and what he's all about. That's who Tucker Carlson is right there. Wow. I don't, it's just crazy, man. Everybody's losing their mind, or either that. Here again, common sense. Is everybody losing their mind, or is everybody getting paid? And you already know the answer to that question. You already know. So, simple as that. Everybody's getting paid. That's what's going on. All of these people didn't just shift their opinion out of nowhere. Well, both is a good answer too, but there's motivation behind their actions. That's what I'm saying. There is plenty of motivation behind their actions. These things just are not happening naturally, organically. It's just not. It's not even close. And this is how you can figure out what's going on, by just taking a common sense approach. All right? Simple as that. Clone Trooper 199 becomes a new member. Thank you. That performer says, so the tiny hats control the military, but the tiny hats won't let Trump open the strait now while the tiny hats strike Lebanon, huh? Stop noticing. Stop noticing. All right? You can't do that. If you start noticing, the anti-Israel crowd will get very, very mad. Okay? Even though they love when you are noticing, they love the the great noticing will continue. And you're like, well, we noticed that you have a lot of flaws in everything you say. Are we allowed to notice that? They're like, oh, you're just paid off. Okay. VJ the Vigilance says, what did Jon Stewart call Tucker back in the day? God, I remember that Crossfire situation. Like dancing monkey, is that what he called him or something like that? I think so. Godzilla's Grease says, I would take a kaiju. It would take a kaiju to be our military. Damn right. Radioactive Actual says, Jeremy, these talking heads are losing their minds from all the truckloads of money they are making. They're getting paid big time. Big time. All right, let's see what else is next. Good Lord, man. It's just a nonstop. I could just sit here all day and just cover crazy shit that's happening. Wow. I'm interested to hear from Trump. And I know we got the True Social post and all that. So. What is this right here? President Trump warns Iran against charging fees for tankers going through the Strait of Hormuz. There are reports that Iran is charging fees to tankers going through the Hormuz Strait. They better not be. And if they are, they better stop now. You know what? I don't know if I can find it. I don't know if I can find it. Let me see if I can find this. I know I put it in one of my bookmarks. There's no way I can scroll through all of this shit, though. Here we go right here. I got to thinking about this, okay? I got to thinking about this. Now, I think we have a little bit of an older demographic here. So we have a lot of, parents. We have a lot of fathers, mothers, things like that. Okay. And so we're looking out at the country and the world and everything like that. And for the first time in my lifetime, we truly have a leader that represents what a president of the United States should represent. Okay. And with that person representing what the president should represent, you're seeing hundreds of millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people reacting like children react. Everyone is at a different stage in their life. Everyone is at a different place in their life. So you're going to see a lot of different reactions, just like I acted differently at a certain age than I do now, and vice versa. So I want to frame this as that Donald Trump is the dad for America and the world. And this is how everyone is currently reacting at their given mental capacity. 5 years old, dad knows everything. 7 years old, dad knows. 10 years old, maybe dad doesn't know. 12 years old, dad doesn't know. 14 years old, dad's gone crazy. This is where we are right now in the United States of America with a lot of people. 16 years old, can't take dad seriously. 18 years old, what does dad know? 22-year-old, dad's talking rubbish. 24 years old, I know more than dad. 26, dad seems to know some things after all. 30 years old, I think I should ask dad about this. 40 years old, it's amazing what dad went through with all this. 45, dad's been right all along. 50 years old, if dad was here, I could have learned a lot from him. Your father is the only man who's proud to see you doing better than him. That is a metaphor for Donald Trump as the president of the United States of America. And all of these different reactions represent how different people are reacting to him on any given time based on their mental capacity and based on where they are in life. And every one of these fucking reactions are going to apply to him over the course of time. And that is the truth of the matter. Trump is America's dad, and he has a lot of spoiled fucking brats right now that are not listening to a damn word he's saying. And he also has a ton of people that understand exactly what's going on and is very thankful for him. That is the truth right there. And you are welcome. I saw this, and of course, I saw this as like from a father's perspective because, you know, you guys know this. I like a lot of the movies that I'm really into are from a dad's perspective because I'm a dad. And of course, you know, I have a dad and have a good relationship with my parents, all that shit. So saw this and I was like, I can relate as a son and I can relate as a father to this. But then I got to thinking, I'm like, with all this shit going on, this is kind of what's going on with Trump and the United States of America right now. Pretty interesting. Indeed. Saturn Dreaming of Mercury says, interestingly, I recall that even Putin called Tucker a dangerous man. Did he? I can't remember if he did that or not. So, good stuff. No way you have a dad too? Well, yeah, I'm white. So, all right. All right, let's move on to the next thing. Oh, man. I had to make the joke. I had to. Let's see here. Yeah, everything is crazy right now. Everything's insane. Everybody's reacting crazy. Let's see here. Scott Jennings argues that Trump, not influencers, lead the GOP. Well, he's right. Here we go.
I mean, we're treating Alex Jones like a credible voice here. We're treating Tucker Carlson like a credible voice.
I don't consider
we're
Alex
playing
Jones a credible voice, but there are
Yeah.
people you travel the country and talk to Trump voters who do.
Okay, so let's just say you're right, and some people listen to them. Who do you think they listen to more? Those people or President Donald Trump? I know what the polling says, and I know what my instincts tell me is that Donald Trump runs the party, he runs the country, not the podcasters. They're welcome to have opinions, and I don't begrudge anybody having an opinion. And you could have a different opinion than Donald Trump, but I know who has more influence over the Republican Party and the conservative movement, and there's no doubt about it. And there has never been any doubt about it, really, all that much for the last 10 years. So their opinions are fine, but the person in charge right now was in charge, is in charge, and will be in charge until he leaves office.
Mike Cernovich, another MAGA influencer, one of the most popular on X, tweeted today, Trump ran on idealism. Good people trusted him. They feel deeply betrayed. I hear it every day. Just another lonely.
Cernovich is a loser. Cernovich told people to wear a damn mask. Yes, Cernovich was pro-mask. Okay, so I don't care what Cernovich has to say about anything.
The voice to you, or
well, look, okay, I can also play the. I hear people saying every day that this is exactly what they voted for. They voted for a commander-in-chief to restore American strength on the world stage. They voted for a commander-in-chief to keep Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. They voted for a commander-in-chief who would do what the 7 previous presidents would not do, and that's deal with these people with a firm hand. So I hear things too. And again, everybody's welcome to an opinion. I don't begrudge anybody their opinion, but you can't deny that Donald Trump has always been a hawk on Iran. He's always said he would never permit them to get a nuclear weapon, and he's taking those actions to prevent that right now. That is the direction he is doing. And it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone because he's always been very clear that he believes they're fanatics and he believes they cannot have a nuclear weapon. And he believes that dealing with them and cajoling them, they don't understand that language. They only understand the language of strength.
I want to come back to some of that.
And just to confirm what I was saying, yeah, right here. This is in June 29th of 2020. Cernovich says, wear a effing mask.
Wear a mask. I wear a mask. Not because I'm afraid of coronavirus, but because I think you should be polite. People are freaking out. It's not a big deal. Just wear the fucking mask.
Yeah, so there you go with that. So I don't really care what that guy has to say. Okay. I don't care what he has to say. Now, on the point of what I was saying about, that Trump is America's dad, this was pretty interesting right here. This is earlier. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte knows it. Daddy isn't going away. Pressed by a reporter, the NATO chief blames his infamous Trump nickname on a translation slip. Now I have to live with it for the rest of my life.
And then Daddy has to sometimes use strong language to get stuff.
Do you still consider him daddy after yesterday?
Well, on the daddy thing, this is a language problem. What happened is the following. I have to explain to you because it follows me a little bit. I can assure you. No, we had a sort of pre-summit meeting, the president and I, in June in The Hague. And he had been very angry that day with Iran and with Israel. This was in June last year. And in Dutch, you would say, hey, the translation of your father is daddy. And I said, hey, yeah, sometimes daddy has to be angry. So I was not calling him my daddy, but saying, but of course, daddy has also a special connotation. And I now have to live with this the rest of my life. And I own it, and the president owns it, because he brought out T-shirts, he made a movie, Daddy is Home, and he returned to the United States. This was so funny. And this is why I like him so much.
And then Daddy...
It's freaking great. 3 for 20 says, I could pipe in because I'm oldest with tech know-how. We should have handled IRGC in 79, 9/11, Iraq, Afghanistan wouldn't have happened. Failing mainstream media has been oozing money and talent over SM for 12 years. Algorithms respond in overdrive. Well said, 3. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But yes, good stuff. And yeah, I mean, again, it would have avoided a lot of problems that we've had since then, but the mainstream doesn't want to talk about that because they're lying scumbags and they're horrible people and they're just going to spin any narrative that they can. So let's see here. Boom. Let's see if we, so again, one more time, if you didn't see it earlier, within the craziness of the day, I covered this earlier, I'll cover it again. Hunter Biden challenging Don Jr. and Eric Trump to a cage match.
Okay, guys, Hunter Biden here. I just got a call from Andrew Callahan. He asked me to come out on the Channel 5 Carnival Tour at the end of the month. I think we start in Phoenix, and then we go to San Diego, and we end in Albuquerque. And I think he's trying to organize a cage match, me versus Eric and Don Jr. I told him I'd do it, 100% in, if he can pull it off. And if he can't, I'm still coming. And I think he's got a lot of other surprises up his sleeve, a lot of fun. And I hope I can see you guys out there. You can get tickets online right now. And I'll see you out on tour. Okay, guys.
What a freaking disaster, man. So, yeah. So, just when you think the news cycle can't get any crazier, here we go. And it gets crazier and crazier. So, hey, look at there. The story's going crazy right now, but it's completely unrelated. But Steven Spielberg reveals he originally was set to direct Interstellar, but then later dropped out. It was a much better movie in Nolan's hands. You damn right, Spielberg. But I knew Spielberg was involved with that. And then Nolan took over afterwards. That's all over my timeline right now. Many of you may not have known that, but I did know that. All right, let's see. Silverwing says, Jeremy, I don't see the hype button on your stream. Saw other YouTubers using it. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know if that's like something I have to turn on or what. I'm not completely sure about that. So I'll have to look into that. I know it's like on some of my other channels. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. All right. I got to show you this if I can find it. Okay. if I can find it. I think I can find it. Let's see here. Okay. I do have it. And this right here, I'm going to leave you with this. God bless Charlie Kirk. We lost a real one. And I saw this the other day. Here you go with Charlie Kirk.
There's a lot of talk about heresies, and there's a very serious heresy out there. I can't believe there's people that exist, that breathe, that have reason, that believe that Whataburger is better than In-N-Out. It's a very serious problem. I've met one of these people before. It's Jack Posobiec. Lost total respect for him on this topic and other things because of this. It's really amazing. It's an institution.
Charlie Kirk was right. In-N-Out Burger is far better than Whataburger. Far better. It's not even close. Charlie knew. Rest in peace to Charlie. All right. But yes, In-N-Out Burger is so much better than Whataburger. And I like Whataburger. I do like it. But In-N-Out is just better. And on top of that, to emphasize the importance of this, there was a new post right here. Check this out, okay? Look at this. Boom, right here. The In-N-Out CEO revealed why the fast food chain will never offer mobile ordering. That warmth and feeling of the culture. Mobile ordering will definitely take a piece of that away. And there's also the freshness factor. Perfect. This is why In-N-Out is king, because they appreciate the overall experience. They don't want to lose that identity. That's what's up right there. And they're a Christian company. So there's that too. But anyway, I just wanted to leave you with some good news. I got front butt for $1 and Lying Dog Face Pony Soldier with the gifted membership. Thank you. I'm probably no promise, but I think I'll be back tonight. Either that or I'll be on my gaming channel, one way or the other. We'll probably be back later tonight. Let's see. We need to get ABF to 500 subs. Right there. Okay. So it's the link in the pinned post. Can we get ABF to 500 subs before the show ends? Come on. Alec Baldwin's finger. He's a long time friend of the channel. And obviously, he's married to our mod, Jess. She's in the chat right now. So if you can, go ahead. If you're interested, just to help get him to 500 subs, it will help him out a lot. We greatly appreciate him. JDT199 says Whataburger, before it sold out to private equity in Chicago, and when it was only in Texas, was better. Private equity ruins everything. I do like Whataburger, so I absolutely do. But it's no match. It's no match for In-N-Out Burger. So not at all. All right, 469. We only need 31 more. We only need 31 more. And the fact that ABF got to take the picture with Alec Baldwin at MegaCon is truly one of the greatest moments in history. It really is, man. I still can't believe he pulled that shit off. I'll show that right here if I could find it. Because ABF did win MegaCon. He did. I'm scrolling my timeline right now to try to find it. And here it almost. There we go, right here. So Alec Baldwin's finger posted this picture with the Alec Baldwin. And boom, rocking the I.199 shirt and the Nerdrotic hat. There it is. Absolutely fantastic. So you love to see it. This dude, I can't believe he got Alec Baldwin to hold the #1 up. Alec Baldwin's finger got Alec Baldwin to hold up his finger for a picture. And then Alec Baldwin asked him, hang on, wait, why are we putting up number one? And ABF said, because you're number one. And Alec Baldwin was like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. So freaking good, man. Let's see here. All right, so let's check back in over on his channel. Where we at? Bros, 4 more and he'll be there. 4 more and he will be there. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Refresh and still need 4 more. Still need 4 more. Didn't block the 199 either. That's right. It's freaking perfect. I couldn't believe it, man. I was like, dude, I can't believe you pulled that shit off. That's fantastic. So 3 more. Storm Shadow says, when I order a double combo, I'm still hungry. A double meat Whataburger combo is more filling and tastes good. Blasphemy. Blasphemy. Boom. There we have it. Round of applause for everybody. Congratulations to ABF on 500 subscribers on his gaming channel. Thank you so much to everybody for the support. Really appreciate it. And of course, if you are interested, you can follow me on Instagram. I think I did post this. Oh yeah, right here. I forgot to talk about this. CNN removes the gas price graphic from their homepage as gas prices fall. Yes, that is hilarious. CNN removes the gas price graphic from their homepage as gas prices fall. Because of course they did. Because that's what CNN does. Now if gas prices, start going back up, they'll put that thing back up there. Because as soon as they can give you bad news about Trump, boom, they'll say that. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Trump is the most transparent president in history, says Stormbreaker. I agree completely. But thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a good evening, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.